is right. You have reached us at Discover Your Ford. I am Errol. This is our live stream, and I'm super excited to be here with you. As you guys can see, I am here with the iconic Bronco. We're going to be getting into it and talking a little bit about the Bronco and some of the awesome features that are available. I'm excited for this vehicle. I know you guys are excited, and so we're going to spend a little bit of time and talk more about it. Now, keep in mind, this is our live stream, and with us being live, we encourage a few things. A, we want your questions. We want your feedback. Your questions and your feedback help us in determining what titles, what future items we're going to talk about, and then also what quick tips and other things that we're going to help you with in the future. So make sure your input, we value it and we want to hear it. So with that being said, I have a dynamic chat team. They're going to be helping me in fielding your questions, and we're going to get as many questions as we can answered either via chat or I'm going to be answering them live on camera while we're here. Now, also with that being said, because we are live, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate every feature or function or all the things that I might be able to want to show you here in the studio, so I'm going to rely on technology. I've got some great videos and some other things that I'll be cutting away to throughout the show, just to help make sure that if you're taking notes or following along, you'll get the most out of our time together. Now, let's talk about what we have here. Now, one of the big things, of course, with the Bronco, and some of you may have heard, but the Bronco has been awarded the 2022 North American Utility Vehicle of the Year. How awesome is that? Now, the 2021 Ford Bronco is one that we're excited about, and this particular one, as you see here in the studio, this is the Badlands trim, and some of you guys may know this, but we have a great program for Bronco owners. It's actually called Bronco Off Rodeo. Now, here's the exciting thing. I'm actually going to be there next month, and so your live stream next month is going to be coming from a on-location spot at the Bronco Off Rodeo. So make sure you mark your calendars, you tune in, you check in for that exact date so that you can be a part of that awesome experience as well. If you want to know more about Bronco Off Rodeo, I'll give you a highlight about it. Basically, it's an awesome 10-hour experience that's designed for anyone from amateurs to expert levels, enthusiasts that are always excited about taking their Bronco and getting it out in the wild. The 10-hour program is designed to keep you having your Bronco in the wild for years to come. So it's built to boost your confidence, boost your comfort, and let you know about the capabilities of your Bronco. You can go to BroncoOffRodeo.com for more information about the Bronco Off Rodeo. But like I said, make sure you guys have your schedule marked because I'll be there next month and I can't wait. All right, guys, so let's go into what we're going to be talking about in our time together here. Now, in this episode, we're going to cover a few cool things. We're going to talk about exterior features. We're going to talk about getting behind the driver's seat and what you see there. We're going to talk some technology features, and we're going to talk cargo, and then lastly, we're going to wrap that up with our Ford Copilot 360 technology. Now, one of the things that you guys will notice, and one of the things that sets the Bronco apart, I mean, it's been an icon, and we're excited to have this icon back. So when you take a look and you start right up front, one of the things that you're going to notice, of course, is the modular grille and bumper. And really one of the nice things here with having the heavy-duty modular front bumper is that you can have it outfitted with a winch mounted to it. You can use it and have some great things that you can utilize it for, whether it be the tow hooks that we have here in the front, or another cool thing that you have here is right here on this end cap. This end cap is actually a removable end cap. And so the benefit of that is now you can get that additional clearance and really be able to get your wheel and tire up to, let's say, that rock or boulder that you might be trying to get over. Now, the nice thing about it, it is power-coded and designed for easy install of accessories such as safari bars and others. The heavy-duty modular front bumper offers protection for off-road, and it also makes it easy to upfit your Bronco. Well, how does that work? You say, well, let me tell you about it. So one of the things that you're going to notice on your Bronco is our modular bolt system. And all that is, and Larry, you can probably come in here and get real close to this. So when you guys see the bolts around your Bronco, and the modular bolts are actually going to have Bronco stamped right on them. So the great thing about it, it lets you know that it is removable. And what that also means for you is that with over nearly 300 different accessories that you can add to your Bronco, it really gives you the opportunity to make your Bronco your own. So that's a cool thing to be able to look for throughout your Bronco is those modular bolts. That way it lets you know that, hey, this item is removable or interchangeable, and really gives you the opportunity to make the accessories your own and take ownership to another level. Now, the other great thing that you notice, of course, when you're looking at the Bronco up front is the signature LED headlamps. Now, the signature LED headlamps, they do come with the daytime running lamps, and so that's just something else that, again, it's very distinctive, very unique, and allows you, and functionality is the trail sight. So a lot of people have asked, hey, what are these right here up front? Well, these are actually trail sight guides. And so what they help you do while you're behind the wheel there, you can actually utilize the trail sights as a way to guide you while you're off-road or you're looking to conquer another trail. Not only are they great for being able to help you with visibility, but they also are a great tie-down point. And one of the things that you'll notice is when you look here on the tie-down itself, it actually tells you that you have a maximum load of 150 pounds. So that's another cool thing to be able to take advantage of, is that you can actually use this if you, let's say you want to tie a canoe or some other items utilizing the roof. You can use this as a tie-down point. Supports up to 150 pounds. That's great, right? Now, the other good thing about this is they actually serve as a limb riser as well. So what's nice, let's say you are hitting the trails, or you are off-roading, and there's branches or different debris that are in your way. Well, the trail sights are actually going to help by lifting that limb up. So that way it helps give clearance over the roof and over the hood of the Bronco. And that way, of course, keeps you going into the trail very easily. Now, another cool thing as well, and you guys seen it when I talked about the modular bumper, I mentioned it, that is the tow hooks that are located right here up front. Now, the nice thing about the tow hooks, of course, is you can obviously help someone else out of a difficult situation because these are mounted directly to the frame. So they are great for single. You also have a single tow hook that's in the rear of the Bronco. But what's really nice is that these are great because with them being attached to the frame, that lets you know that they're sturdy, they're in place, and you can really be a help. As a matter of fact, speaking of frames, Larry, come this way. This is exciting. So you guys see what the tow hooks look like there, right? So check this out. This is, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So these are those same tow hooks, but this is before all the razzle-dazzle gets put on it, right? So this is what you're looking at. This is the underneath of your Bronco. This is where all of the rubber meets the road, right, as they say. So this is giving you an idea of those tow hooks. As I told you, they're mounted directly to the frame. And so with this and the rolling chassis that we have here, what is nice about it, it really gives you an idea to be able to see how rugged your Bronco is underneath. So let me point out some of the key areas to you guys. I'm going to step around this way. So one of the big things that you'll see is our bash and skid plates, right? And those are areas that are all here in red. So anywhere that you see the red, those are your bash and skid plates. Now, what they do is they help protect your powertrain and your steering components, right? So in the event of harsh off-road driving, well, you have some added protection there for you. Now, the four that you see right here, you have, of course, up in the front end, right? You also have a bash and skid plate covering your stabilizer bar disconnect. You also have it covering your transfer case and your fuel tank. And so all throughout, you have some of the crucial areas and points where you actually have that added level of protection. Now, one of the other cool things that's nice when you're looking underneath here is the available hydraulic stabilizer bar disconnect. Now, what that does is that provides maximum articulation for you, and it increases your ramp angle index for off-road camber terrain. So what that means for you is this system actually allows you to disconnect during articulation. Now that's a big story because no longer do you have to worry about being on a flat surface or stopped or some of the other caveats that can go into other systems. With this system, you can actually disconnect while articulating. So that's a great thing. Now this whole platform of what you see here is called HOS. And what that stands for is our High Performance Off-Road Stability Suspension System. It's made up of a number of the components such as the shock absorbers, the rear and front suspension, and so much more. Now, the design is a combination of low mass and high compliance chassis tuning. And what that does is that improves your high-speed off-road confidence. So these are all the things and the components that you'll be able to experience in that off-road environment that I talked about at the top of our show. Now, the other thing that you'll notice here is, of course, that we have the independent front suspension, and that is forged with aluminum alloy upper control arms, and that helps reduce the upspring weight for a smooth, precise off-road at speed. The other thing that you also see is our coil-over spring shock absorbers, and those are mounted to the fully boxed high-strength steel Bronco frame itself. In the rear, when you get back in the rear chassis, and I know, Larry, it's a little tight, so I'll just kind of give it an overview. But back here in the rear chassis and axle, what's nice is you do have our 5-link solid axle, and that features our Bilstein coil-over shock absorbers and the Dana differential with electronic locking, right? So all of these things come together because we know the Bronco looks beautiful, and it's a great vehicle to look at, but more than just being something to look at, we wanted to show you why it truly is built for the wild, all right? So that gives you an idea of some of those awesome internal workings. Now, I gave you guys a chance to see kind of underneath the body, and I want to talk about some other cool things that are on the side of the body that you'll also be able to take advantage of, because not only do you want to keep the under protected, and we talked about those skid and bash plates, but you also want to be able to obviously keep your paint protected, right? And one of the ways that you're able to do that is with the rock rails that are here. Now, these rock rails, as you see them here, they're really rugged and durable, and the benefit of having these rock rails is that as you're off-roading, what they're designed to do is help to basically make sure that those rocks are, as much as possible, going in the opposite direction of your beautiful paint job. So again, just another thing that when we talk about utility overall, it helps protect the body of your vehicle, and it gives minimal effect to your breakover angle. So it's really designed with functionality in mind. Now, another cool thing that you'll notice about your Bronco is your body-mounted mirrors. Now, this is unique, right? This is a great feature because one of the things that you may be familiar with on your Bronco is that you do have the opportunity to remove your doors. Well, with your body-mounted mirrors, it allows you to keep your mirrors in place even with the doors off. And what that does also, you can take a look here. If it's available and you have it, it also allows you to still have your 360-degree camera and utilize your zone lighting. So again, another well thought through aspect of your Bronco is having these side mirrors that are body mounted. So even when you take the doors off, you don't have to worry about it. Now, another big thing, obviously, when taking the doors off, and I actually have it right here on my driver's seat, so let me show you guys this. So when it comes to taking the doors off, we've actually made it really easy for you. And with that, we actually have a removable toolkit. So I'll kind of come in a little bit closer here, Larry. So this kind of actually shows you guys, these are just some of the tools that all come with your Bronco. So that way you can easily remove those doors, and then you can even see here they've got some convenient pockets where you can actually store some of the bolts and other items that you might want to keep in the bag for when you're ready to reattach the doors. So again, this is just something handy. Comes in your Bronco. Normally you'll find this in your glove compartment, and obviously you can go ahead and store it in a convenient place for you. So I'll put this back inside for now. So again, guys, just something else that's great, that makes it really easy for you to be able to enjoy your Bronco, whether you want the doors on, off, or however you prefer, right? So another big thing, of course, and Larry, stay right there. I'm gonna grab one other cool thing, because you might have noticed it when we talked about front, and that's the Bead lock capable wheels. So let me show you. Let me grab another cool thing that I have here for you guys. Now, with your Bead lock capable wheels, okay, so when you get the Bead lock capable wheels, you will have to, if you want to take advantage of the bead locking capability, you will have to get the additional accessory. So you will have to go to a licensed, spot to get this done. But basically, what you would do is you'll be able to order this through our parts department, and then from there, you actually will attach this. Well, you won't do it yourself. You'll have someone professionally licensed to do it. And basically what that does is, having it with the bead capable, is that essentially it will clamp the tire bead to the wheel, helping prevent the tire from coming off. So what that does is that allows you to reduce your tire pressure to do a little bit more off-roading. So like I said, it's not about all just looking pretty. It's about getting down and dirty and enjoying the wild of your Bronco as well. So again, this is another great option for you to be able to have, and that's the bead locking technology and capability that's on your Bronco. Let me put this away here, guys. Give me just one quick second there. Now, another cool thing that you will notice is that with your Bronco, you have a few different options when it comes to your roof. Now, here in the studio, I actually have the soft top option. And so with that, I want to take some time and give you guys some pointers and tips, because with the soft top, we've been hearing a lot of feedback about, soft top operation. And so what I want to do is just share some common things that I've seen while I've been out and about and talking to Bronco owners, especially new owners, and I want to share those tips with you and some things that you want to watch out for while you're both not only folding your top, but also removing some of your side and rear glass. So let's get into it and talk a little bit about it. Now, remember, you have the soft top or hard top option available. And so what I want to do first is I want to talk about being able to properly fold down this soft top, all right? So what we want to do is make sure that we're not damaging our fabric. I'm going to set my tablet down here. So the first thing you want to do after you go inside and you disconnect your roof here is you want to take your time in lifting up to get the roof up. Now, as you're folding this roof back, one of the things that you want to do and making sure, so see even how this is going right now, you want to make sure that this is actually creating an S design. So as this comes back, what you'll see if you're with your roof to protect it, you want it to actually create an S-style curve, all right? So as this is coming down, you see that I kind of made some adjustments to it there, and you just want to make sure that you maintain that S-like position all the way down. What that's going to do is that's going to ensure that your top itself is in the proper position. And let's say you have the top in this position, well, you also are going to get some tie downs. So that way, if you keep it in this position and you want to do off-roading or just out and about, you'll be able to do that. Just make sure you properly tie it down. Another big tip that I want to give you is right here, this button right here. So this actually ensures that your top position is locked into place. So as an example, if this were actually pushed down, then what you would actually see is that your top itself would be able to move and come up, right? And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that, and you might even heard that click, you want to make sure that it's in this position, okay? So you want to make sure that it's not pushed down, because if it's pushed down and loose, you'll be able to move that top and it will not be secure, all right? So that's another quick tip as well. And also, one of the things you'll notice if you have questions about this, well, it actually is giving you a reference to your digital owner's manual, which I'll touch on a little bit later. So again, guys, if you have questions on it or you're not familiar, what I always recommend is, hey, take your time, slow down, and learn it. And then when you become more confident, it'll be that much easier for you. Now, another thing that I've been hearing about is, of course, the removal of the side window here as well. So I'm going to walk you guys through showing and going over the side window and removing that, and then we're also going to talk about removing the back window. So same philosophy. Now there's a couple of pointers that I want to give here on this, and I'm actually going to put my tablet back here so it's a little bit closer. But same philosophy is that you just want to take your time, right? The more you take your time and learn it, the easier it becomes. Repetition deepens the impression, right? So here's what you do. So first off, you're going to lift up your Velcro here, all right? And once you do that, you're going to see that there's 3 clips underneath here. So you just take your time, you take 3 clips off, remove those. So that's really easy to do. And then from there, you actually can go through on your first part and just remove that here. You're going to also come back here in the back, and you're going to remove that on the back. And when you do that, this is going to fold down for you. Now, once you have this down, you're just going to take your time and slide it out nice and gently. What I recommend is if you have an additional hand, you can go ahead and utilize the help of someone else. But basically, the main thing that you want to do is just take your time in sliding it out. All right. And again, see, even with me, you have to make sure that it's all on the track. And as you get it on the track and it comes out, then you'll be able to easily remove it. And of course, because we're doing this live, it wants to give me a hard time. Bear with me, guys. I already moved the other one just to make sure. There we go. All right. And see, even I have trouble with it sometimes. Let me make sure that this is, hold on. And if we can't get this one off, then I will show you on the other side. All right. Hold on one second, guys. Let's make sure. And it looks like this is stuck on something here, which is really odd because it's going that way. And when I come back this way, all right, so with the course of being a live stream, why wouldn't something go wrong, right? That's what happened. But this one, now this vehicle, to give you guys some insight, this is actually fresh off our Bronco rodeo. So one of the nice things about this vehicle has actually been in quite a bit of use. So it may be something here that's catching on this. I don't want to spend too much time on this because obviously I want to keep the show moving, keep the flow going. But let me walk you through it to give you an idea. Basically, once this is on the track and in place, you actually would just pull this forward. It will slide off in place, and then from there, you just want to store your back window in a secure spot to make sure. Lay it flat as possible to make sure no damage. Now, we're going to make our way to the back, and hopefully we're not going to have that same problem because that's the fun of having live television, right? If something goes wrong, I don't have a chance to yell cut, so we're just going to roll with it. Now, in the back, it's the same method, right? So the first thing that you want to do is you're going to lift up your Velcro here, and when you lift up your Velcro, now on the rear, you actually have 4 clips that are in place, okay? So same thing, you're going to remove those 4 clips, and just take your time and remove them. Now, as I mentioned, now this is the important part, all right, because this is where we've been getting a lot of the feedback. So it's really tempting. There's a little piece of fabric right here, right, and it's really tempting to pull at this. Here's my tip. You want to push, not pull, all right? So at the top of your back window here, there's a little release, and if you just push it out, you'll actually be able, boom, just like that. So make sure you're not pulling on your fabric. At any point, you don't want to pull on your fabric because that will cause damage to your fabric, so you always want to push. Now let me go ahead and do that on the other side, and so far so good. The back window is being a little bit more cooperative than that side window was being. And same thing, you just want to push at the top, and to get that out of place. And once you have that off, there we go. Now, same scenario, guys. You just want to take your time and you want to slide it out of the track. This is why I said if you do have 2 hands available, it's a lot easier to do with 2 hands. But if not, just take your time and slide it off. And there we are. And boom, just like that. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. We're doing good, right? All right, guys. So listen, that's how you take that off. Let me put this off camera. Give me just a moment here. And then I'm also going to go ahead and grab my tablet. Like I said, the one thing that you'll want to make sure that you do is once you have that off, and I shouldn't have closed the door like that. That was my bad, guys. One of the things that you'll do is make sure that when you have that off, you store it in a secure location. Make sure you lay it flat. That way you don't develop any type of unnecessary wrinkles or damage to your rear window at all, okay? So now we have the rear window off, and so that gives you guys kind of an idea of how you would operate that. And of course, as I mentioned, with having the ability and the flexibility of the soft top, you can remove one of the windows or all of the windows, whichever you prefer. Now, another big thing as well is that if in the event you have the hard top option, well then you will have some additional accessories available. So as an example, if you have the hard top, you can do certain accessories like a roof rack. You can add a kayak carrier, bike carrier, and even some other things like that as well. So again, for more information about those items, you just want to visit accessories.ford.com. All right, so if you guys want to check out, like I said, there's quite a few Bronco accessories that you can add to make it your own. So check those out. Now we're going to move up towards the driver's seat of our vehicle because I want to show you guys some other cool technology when it comes to being able to get in and out of your Bronco. Now, one of the things that's really nice is our intelligent access. Now, the intelligent access is great, especially when you're out and about and you're on the trail or campsite or anywhere else in between, even if you're just on the work site going back and forth to work. The intelligent access allows you to easily get into your vehicle. And how that works is you guys will see it. There's a little button right here, and this is to lock the vehicle. But then also with the intelligent access, it allows you, as long as your key fob is on person, you can actually put your hand right here behind the handle, and then from there easily open up your Bronco door. Now, what's really nice about this as well is it allows me to enter my vehicle without having to worry about taking my key fob out. All right, now the other thing that you can utilize is that same thing that I mentioned with the lock button. It's just by pressing the button there, and when you do that, that will go ahead and lock the Bronco back for you. So when you're ready to unlock it, you just approach the vehicle, put your hand in there. You might have even heard the doors unlock, and then from there you have an ability to go ahead and hop in. Now, the other thing that you'll notice, and I'm going to go inside here and kind of show you some of the other cool features, because remember, guys, I talked to you a little bit about those modular bolts. Well, check them out. There's some modular bolts that you'll find right here on your grab handle. So if you can take a look right there, and what that means for you is that this grab handle is interchangeable. All right, so this is a really cool feature that you'll have the ability to utilize, and this is one that, again, when you're off-roading, this is going to come in handy, maybe more for the passenger than the driver, right? Depends on how much you're having fun. So this is nice because it just gives you something that you can sturdily hang on to, and what's even really nice about it, actually have some grooves in here for finger positioning, so it's really cool. Some other cool things that you might notice, depending on your Bronco model, you also can have additional features like, for instance, marine grade vinyl. And what that will give you the availability of doing is, if you have that equipped, you actually will have the washable flooring system. You'll have a drain plug underneath. Now, on our Bronco that we have in the studio, I don't have that feature, but it gives you our marine grade vinyl, which allows you to easily wipe down and clean out and even hose down the inside of your Bronco. So that gives you the washout floor capability, and that's really nice because not only can you hose out the entire interior, but you can have an easy drain plug access as well. Now, again, this one, if you guys see down here, I've got carpet, so I don't want to do any hosing or washing down with this one, right? So just to kind of give you an idea, you'll know based on your order, or even if you just want to check and visually see it yourself, you'll know what you have in your Bronco. Now, when you're getting here and you're behind some cool steering wheel tips that I wanted to point out to you, and just some things that you will notice about the steering wheel itself. So starting up here on my left-hand side of my steering wheel, this is where I'm going to have some of my cruise control settings. Now, remember, depending on which trim level you have, this may look a little bit different as far as your available buttons, but this will give you all of your driver assist features and some of your cruise control features as well. You also have a volume control here, as you see also. And then when you get on the right-hand side of your steering wheel, this will take you into your menu functions, which you'll see on your display in your dashboard. And then here, of course, you also have your voice command button, and then, of course, and then when you're listening to music, you have, of course, your rewind or fast forward button. So some really cool buttons here that are right at your disposal while you have your hands on the steering wheel. All right. Now, another good thing that we made very easy is the single stalk here. And so this is nice because this, of course, is going to operate not only your headlights, but it's also going to give you the operation of your windshield wipers as well. So this makes it really easy for you to be able to navigate one stock, not confusing. You can utilize that very easily. And like I said, the main thing, guys, that you can imagine when you're behind the wheel and you're driving, everything is pretty easy to access right from your disposal. So it really makes it easy and convenient for you as well. All right, so those are a couple cool features that I wanted to show you there. Now, one of the things that I want to do is, I'm here in the driver's seat, but I've got to get Larry in here with me as well. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to check out this quick tip video for what you do if your key fob is not working. So check this video out. Larry, come on and hop inside with me, and we'll be right back with you guys. Check out this video. So we are back. Welcome. Larry, how cool is this? Now imagine, I know we're in the studio, but listen, guys, this is great. Like, check this out. Like, one of the things that I love, right? You guys seen that I put the roof back, but one of the things that I love is that the open air feel that your Bronco affords you the opportunity. there's no A-pillar here in the center. So even Larry sitting in the back will get that true open air. And let me tell you, if we were out on the trail or out just enjoying the sunshine, it's a really great experience. So it's something that's really exciting, right? So let's talk a little bit more about what you're going to see when you get behind the wheel and when you are looking at some of the operational buttons throughout your Bronco. Before I do that, I did have a question come in while we had the video playing, so let me go ahead and get this question answered for you guys. Let's go here and just let me make sure update forward here. All right, so this question comes from Ryan. Ryan, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. And so Ryan's question is this. Can I add rock rails to my vehicle? I didn't order it with them. Well, first off, congratulations on having your order, Ryan. That's a great question. And yes, you actually can. So you can find those bars that are on our accessory website. And remember, if you want to check out any of the Bronco accessories, it's accessories.ford.com. All right, there you'll find not only those rock rails that you're looking for, but you can also find a ton of other things. And the other thing that I can recommend, Ryan, is that you can also order them through your local dealer. All right, so it's another great thing that you can do. So if you haven't taken delivery of your Bronco, maybe reach out to your dealership and let them know that's something that you're thinking about adding on. They can help you in coordinating that. Or, like I said, you can check out accessories with an S on the end, .ford.com, and you'll be able to find some options there for you as well. All right, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, guys, let's get back to talking about some of the things that we're going to see here when we get into our Bronco. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start right up top and just work our way down the center. All right, so we'll make it really easy. So the first thing that you're going to notice here right up top is your auxiliary switches. Now, these are huge because if you're into customizing or upfitting your Bronco, what's really nice is that we've given you some pre-wired auxiliary switches. Now, the auxiliary switches, they sit above your windshield, so again, it makes it really easy for you to access them, but they are pre-wired, so it allows you to control them based on how you have them in. The relays themselves are ready to accept your add-ons. So it makes it a really, really cool feature and cool thing to add. Below the auxiliary switches here is you will find our silicone covered control switches. Now, what's nice about them being silicone covered is, again, it makes it easy for them to be able to be wiped down and cleaned. Also, remember, depending upon which Bronco model you have, you will either have the set of buttons that you see here, or you may have additional buttons also. So I'm going to walk you through what we have here. Now, you may have noticed from when Larry got in, but I do have the manual transmission Bronco here, or standard, depending on what you want to call it. But with the manual, there's some different features that you'll find between this and the automatic. So let's go through your silicone buttons that we have here on our Bronco in studio. And like I said, depending on your trim and if you have automatic or manual, you may see some things different. All right, guys. So first off, right here, one of the first things that you're going to see is your front locking differential. And so then next to that, of course, is your rear locking differential. Now, if you have the automatic, then you will also see, I'm sorry. I said that. Let me go back. I apologize. I said that out of order. The first button here is your stabilizer bar disconnect. I apologize. I was out of order. So stabilizer bar disconnect is first. Second is actually your front locking differential. This is your rear locking differential. And then if you have the automatic, you will have the trail turn assist. And then next to that will be the electronic stability control. And lastly, it's followed by your hazard lights. All right. So again, guys, it gives you just the opportunity where you'll be able to easily utilize these buttons as well. So again, just some other cool features, guys, that really, when it comes to your Bronco, you have the opportunity to make it your own. There's a really cool accessory up there. It's called BYOD, which stands for Bring Your Own Device. So that's a really cool thing to check out on that accessories page. All right, guys. So now we've talked about everything that we see up top here and on our dash. Some other things we want to go into, of course, is getting into where the rubber meets the road. And we talked about it on our rolling chassis. We've seen all the cool hardware that goes underneath. So let's talk about it. And let's talk about GOAT modes, right? Go over any terrain. That's what our GOAT modes stand for. So I'm going to walk you through some of the GOAT modes. Okay, now keep in mind, as I mentioned, depending upon which trim level you have and which transmission setup you have. You may see some different, but I want to give you a highlight of some of the GOAT modes that you're going to see. Now, your GOAT mode actually is controlled right here from the rotary dial, and so it's really easy to be able to access. You can even see, I know it's a little dark down there, but it actually says GOAT modes right on it, all right? So let's go through and let's take a look at some of the GOAT modes and how they actually work. So the first one that you guys are going to come to is actually your normal mode, right? Normal is what you're going to use for everyday dry pavement, normal conditions, right? So that's probably the one that you're going to be in the most. Well, I guess depending on how you spend your time, right? So normal is, of course, like I said, just that everyday drive mode, probably the most popular one that you use the most, right? From there, you then go into eco mode. So eco mode comes in next, and all eco mode does is provides a more conservative drive experience, all right? So if you're looking to utilize eco mode, then you're gonna know, okay, I'm getting a little bit more conservative drive experience, so that way I'm just kind of leveling everything out. So that's kind of eco mode in a nutshell. It's for that efficient driving. Now, after that, you then go into, from eco, you go right into slippery mode. Now, as you can imagine, that's kind of the opposite of the normal mode. Now, here's the other nice thing that I want to point out, and you guys may have seen it really quickly there. When you go into slippery mode, it's going to make an adjustment to your four-wheel drive. So what's really nice is you'll see, you'll get a display here, and it'll tell you that your four-wheel drive shift is in progress. So, and that's because I went back from slippery back into eco, so it took me back to two-wheel high. When I go into slippery, it then automatically shifts me into four-wheel automatic. All right, so that's another cool feature, and so you'll get that notification. Little road conditions, right? So this is when you're looking at snow or ice-covered roads, things of that nature. This mode can be used for crossing terrain with a firm surface is covered with loose, wet, or slippery material. All right, so that gives you an idea there. From there, you actually will go into mud rut. Now, mud rut, and as you may have heard, or you might even see, it did a couple things when I went to mud rut. It activated my front camera, so you can even see where I got my bead lock wheel accessory there as well. So it activated my front camera. It also automatically took me into 4 high, because mud and rut is exactly what it's designed for. Now, in addition to mud and rut, you actually can, this is where you'll be utilizing those trail sites that I mentioned earlier, and some of the other features, but mud and rut is for that off-road driving. So not only can you combine by utilizing your camera, the trail sites, but now you actually gives you that basically performance that you're looking for when it comes to off-road and traversing muddy or loose, rutted, uneven terrain. All right. Now from there, you actually go into sand. Okay. So when you come next, you're going to go into sand mode. And sand mode, as you notice, your front camera view goes away. It also keeps you in four-wheel drive high. And what sand mode does, this is for off-roading on soft, dry sand or deep snow. That's the idea there. And what this mode does, it helps give your vehicle, it helps get you unstuck in the event you find yourself in deep snow or sand. And it also, of course, like I said, keeps you in four-wheel drive high. And it also engages your electronic locking differentials and the front locking differentials and also the stabilizer bar. That's also available for use in this mode as well. All right. So again, and it even gives you a little indicator to let you know that this is for off-road use only. All right. Now up from there, next from sand, you actually go into Baja mode. Now, when you think Baja, I just want you to think about higher speed off-roading, right? Still off-roading. You'll notice in Baja mode, your front camera is activated, so that kicks back on. And of course, it also still does keep you in the four-wheel high position, so that's great. But Baja is for high-speed off-road driving, and what it does is it switches and keeps you in four-wheel drive high. It engages the rear locking differential and the front locking differential stabilizer bar. They're all available, and depending on what model you have, Baja will be swapped out for sport mode. So depending again on trim level and feature, If you don't have Baja, then you'll have Sport Mode, okay? And Sport Mode is for that sportier driving feeling, right? So Sport Mode, of course, as you can imagine, it's kind of the polar opposite of Eco, right? So if Sport Mode is going to give you a little bit more aggressive throttling response, it's also going to give you a more in-tune suspension that gives you that more sporty feel and handling and performance while you're in that mode, all right? And so the next up that you have from there, outside of either Baja or Sport Mode, you would then go into Rock Crawl Mode. Now, Rock Crawl Mode, one of the things that you'll notice is it actually tells you to access your four-wheel low, then you'll need to press on your clutch in order to engage that. So one of the things that you'll love about your Bronco is that no matter what terrain management system that you're going into, or mode I should say, because the system is GOAT mode, no matter what mode you go into, it's going to give you instructions of what additional options or things that you need to do as the driver. So you'll see here, it basically tells you, it says, hey, you need to do this in order for you to go into that mode. And because I did not do that, it actually will tell me like, hey, you haven't met the preconditions to go into this mode. So it will prevent you from going into that mode unless you follow the prompts that are there. So again, it's utilizing that technology to really just make sure that overall your Bronco experience driving is going to be not only comfortable, but convenient and safe. All right. So outside of that, now one of the things, since we're already here, I want to get into talking to you guys about our 360-degree camera. That's really nice, and one of the things that you'll be able to notice is that with the 360-degree camera, you actually have a button right here. It's right up front on your dash. Allows you to access that camera mode. And so what you'll be able to do, you can turn it on or turn it off just by the press of the buttons. You can see there. And then also you have some options that allow you here to change your view. So like right now I have my normal up front view. I can also change that to a panoramic view. So that gives me the opportunity there. And then I can even go to a 360 all the way around, or I can do some other camera view options there. So that's a really nice feature that you're able to add. It's an available feature, right? So again, remember, it's depending on which model and trim you have. We'll have is our hill descent control. And Larry, that's actually right here located in the center of our GOAT mode dial. And so with the hill descent, this helps maintain speeds between 2 and 20 miles per hour when I'm going downhill. All right, so that's a button that I can, again, press to utilize the technology that I have at my disposal. It's a really cool feature. So some other cool things that we have here, and let's actually, let me go through. It looks like I've got a question coming in, so let's go to our question and let's see what we have here. Give me 1 second. All right, let's see here. All right, so this question comes from Chris. So Chris, first off, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. Chris's question is this: what is the top speed you can go with the top open in this first position? All right, Chris, that's a great question. And so again, remember when you're looking at going at speed, make sure that you're utilizing the tie downs. Now, there's no speed limitation listed in the owner's manual for driving with the top down. So with the top in this partially open position, there's no speed limit posted in the owner's manual. However, like I mentioned, make sure that you have the top secured and is latched as I showed you to make sure that it's in position and it's in tight. And it's like I said, it's a good idea to just double check and make sure it's secure before you get off-road and driving. But Chris, great question. Thanks for asking. Lets me know that you're paying attention. And so the other thing that I wanted to point out to you guys while we're talking about that and we're on this question, I just want to remind you that overall the features and functions that we're talking about here are some of them are optional features, and so we want to make sure that again the things that I'm going over, they're optional, they're not all standard. And so with that being the case, you want to refer to, and I'm actually going to show you where it's at, your owner's manual, or you want to make sure that you're looking at exactly what you ordered to know what are these features that we're discussing tonight that are available on your Bronco model. All right, so remember, as I mentioned, there's some differences between the manual and the automatic. There's some differences in the buttons that you'll see, even when it comes down to the interior, as I mentioned even earlier as well. All right, guys, so keep that in mind that these are some optional features. Not everything is going to be standard across the board. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get back into what we're talking about. Now, I mentioned it, so let's go into the owner's manual, right? So the digital owner's manual, I talked about the icon there when we were letting our top back, but here it is right here. It's a digital owner's manual, and it makes it really easy for you to access. And so when you access the owner's manual, you'll be able to search for things using either a visual search, you can do it by video, you can even change languages, or you can, of course, look by category. What's really nice is when you find what you're looking for, and if you want to save it and go back to it at a later time, you can even go ahead and bookmark it here. And so that way you can pull that up and you'll be able to bookmark it and go back to it at any time, which is really cool. All right. Now, while we're here and talking about this system, this is our sync system in our display. Okay. So right now we have our available 12-inch screen, right? And that's available on the Lux package. The standard is our 8-inch touchscreen. Okay. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about and go through and walk you through the Sync 4 system. Some of the things that you'll notice up here when you're going through your buttons that are available on the available 12-inch, you have your audio button, which just allows you to control your entertainment, so you can do anything from Sirius XM radio all the way down to just your standard AM and FM. And then also you'll have your phone button here. And so what's nice about your phone is that you can actually easily pair your phone. So as an example, I have my phone with me, and if I want to pair my phone, let me get it out of my pocket here. I'll walk you guys through that as well. So it's really easy. I'm just going to go to add my phone. And then let me go into my settings and go into my Bluetooth. So you have to make sure that your Bluetooth is on. And then once your vehicle is found, you'll click on that. And it will actually ask you if you want to go ahead and connect. So give me just a moment here. There we go. Yep, the pins match. So I'm going to go ahead and pair that. And it's going to let you know that it's waiting. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be available for any compatible smartphone. So I happen to have an iPhone, but if you utilize Android, it's compatible for that as well. And so it's going to ask you, it's going to do its syncing. And then once it is synced and paired successfully, it will let you know that. And because I am enabling it, I also will be able to utilize Apple CarPlay. So again, another great feature, makes it really easy, and you'll see that it'll switch over. Boom, there you have it. And then also, if you have it available, you can even conveniently put your phone in the wireless charging area as well. Remember, all these things are optional depending on which trim level. But let's talk about this now. So you have your Sync 4, you are able to use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can do that wirelessly, right? So depending on model and trim level, you don't have to be tethered into the vehicle. So that's another cool available option and feature that you can have with the Sync 4 system. Now, what's really nice about this system is that you can actually navigate between utilizing, let's say, as I have it here, my Apple CarPlay or the standard built-in navigation. That's just by pressing the nav button there. And once I do that, you can actually go back and you'll see that I have the option to choose from my built-in navigation or easily toggling back between that and because I don't have the power on, let me take my phone out here. Or I can toggle back and forth between my built-in navigation. Next up from there, you can go into some of the apps that are available, and so you'll see my CarPlay, Android Auto, the Ford Pass, which I definitely recommend you download. It's a free app, so it's great. And then also you have an app catalog that you can access. You then will move into some of the settings that are available, and so some of the things that you'll be able to do here is control anything from your sound to your display. You can also swipe over and you have connectivity, talk about your vehicle hotspot, mobile access, and even certain things like valet mode that are available. The other big thing, of course, obviously is your system updates, just to make sure that you're getting all of the updates available for your Bronco to keep all that technology in line, keep it operating as smooth as possible. When you get into features, what's really nice about this, and I mentioned this earlier, we talked about our zone lighting opportunities, and with the zone lighting, it's really great because, like I mentioned, even with the doors off, you guys are able to access and utilize the zone lighting, so that's a really cool feature. You can access the zone lighting either as one, as you can see here, or I can actually turn on all zones, which you see it illuminates and lets me know that all zones are on. So I can turn them off individually, or I can turn them off all at once. So it's a really cool feature to have there with the zone lighting. So that's another available option that you'll see there. When you get back into your features, you're also going to have some other things like your driver assistance features, your towing features, and some other cool things that really give you that insight when it comes to your Bronco operation. All right. So again, some other things while we're making our way down and through. We talked about the 360 camera. Let's talk about our displays that we see here. Now remember, depending on trim level, yours might look a little bit different, but you'll notice that we have our dual climate control here as well. We have our heated steering wheel with heated seats on this model. That's another available option and feature. And then as we continue to travel right down, another cool thing that's really, really nice that I love is that my operation, because remember, I told you guys my doors are removable. So my operation for my windows and my door locks are actually right here in the center, right? So that's really, really cool. So those switches are in a good position to where when I do remove my doors, it makes it really easy. It's less electronics to worry about inside the door itself, and makes it really easy for me to operate those. And another cool thing, I know what you're thinking, well, if I take my doors off, how do I have an added level of security? Well, check this out, guys. There's actually a lockable right here, your center console. You do have that lockable console, so you will be able to keep your items stored safely, so you don't have to worry about your stuff even when you have the doors off. All right. We talked about some cool features. One of the things that I wanted to mention, because I kind of highlighted the Forward Pass app. When you have your Bronco, you also have the additional Forward, and let me give it to you guys correct, it's the Performance. So it's the Forward Pass Performance app. And with the Forward Pass Performance app, what it is, it's everything you need to know about off-roading. All right, so what's great is that when this pushes through to the Forward Pass app, it's going to be usable on your phone with your Bronco, and what it will allow you to do is it will allow you to search for trails. You can filter by location, you can filter by trail difficulty, you can even filter by trail length. All right, and so what you'll do is you'll just tap on each of the trail in that description, and it'll give you the length, the rating, and you can also mark it as a favorite. So that's really cool. It'll also even allow you to view photos. So there's a share experience and a social aspect of it where you can share it on social media. And so it's a really cool thing. You want to make sure you have the Forward Pass app downloaded. And then, like I said, it's going to be a little bit later availability, but when it becomes available, that Forward Pass app performance will actually take that to another level, especially with your Bronco ownership experience. All right. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to go to a quick tip. There's some other cool things that I'm going to touch on, but I want to talk to you and show you guys a quick video about your Molly panels and how those actually work. So check out this video, and we'll be right back. I'm going to hop out, so I'll see you shortly. Check out this video. All right, guys, so we're back. I had to hop out because I wanted to show you some other cool features, and we're going to talk a little bit about your spare tire, right? And so with the spare tire, what's really cool is it's mounted directly here on the back, and I know what you're thinking, right? Well, if I have this spare tire, we talked about all these camera views, what about my rear view camera? Well, we thought about that. So actually, if you take a look, your rear view camera is still there and attached. You actually still have full function of your rear view camera, even with the spare tire attached here. Now, what's really nice about your Bronco, and you may have noticed that I did it earlier, but you have your swing outdoor. You actually have a button here for your intelligent access on the back here as well. So you can actually lock your Bronco right here from the back, but you can also utilize that same intelligent access that we talked about up front. You can utilize that here in the back. So with the swing outdoor, it's ready for accessories. And so if you're on the accessory site, it's one that you can add accessories easily to the swing outdoor. And depending on if you have the hard top or the soft top, you'll be able to add some other items there. Right now, what I have on my door here is the Molly Grate system. Now, what this does is it attaches to the swing door and it consolidates all of your tools, your smart parts, and it makes it all convenient into one storage solution. So this is really cool. And again, guys, you can just go to accessories.ford.com to find out more about that. Now, while you're back here and you're in the back of your Bronco, some other cool things that you'll notice is you have a storage compartment, and this is where you'll access your jack and your easy fuel funnel. All right, so the easy fuel funnel is great. You can actually just pull it off right there. And then, of course, if you need to put more gas, let's say you're out and about and you're on the trails and can't make it to a traditional gas station, well, you can easily use that fuel funnel and refuel up. All right, some other cool things that you'll see in the back, you do have a 12-volt outlet here, so you'll be able to utilize that. So you have a little bit of a power source there with the 12-volt. You'll see you have a little bit of lighting here as well. Below that, we have our speaker. And so it's really nice. I talked about this earlier with not having the A-pillar, but what's nice here is that you actually have your speakers that are located here in the side. And again, this is depending on which model and trim level. And then you also have your overhead bar with your speakers here as well. And so the nice thing about that is with the top down, you don't have to worry about losing your tunes. Your sound, all of that stuff will be still with you as you travel and enjoy the wild, right? So with another cool thing, and Larry, I'm going to show right there, I want to show you guys when it comes to storage, that is your 60/40 rear folding seats. So what's nice is if you need some additional storage here, it's really easy to be able to fold your rear seat. One of the things, and let me close up the back here, and then we'll head back up. And one of the things that I want to tell you guys about is the available Ford Copilot 360 technology, all right? So that's a suite of driver assist features that are all designed about your ownership experience, adding safety, comfort, and convenience for you. Now, what I want you guys to do, if you want more information on that, I want you to check out Discover Your Ford, because there you'll find more quick tips, one-on-one walkthroughs, and live streams just like this one. And remember, guys, coming up next month, you will be down at the off-rodeo, so make sure that you check your schedule, check the calendar for that, so that you can tune in for that awesome experience. Now, listen, guys, this has absolutely been fun, but I just looked at the clock, and I've got to run. But don't you worry. I'll be back on the next one. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your night.